podcast for weirdos and those who want to be weirder. Embrace the strange. New episodes every Saturday, live streaming Fridays. Loving the strange. Check us out.
What are you laughing about, baby?
I'm laughing because I forgot to go live to our 17th or 18th episode of Loving the Strange, which I should know by now. And then I forgot to take our faces off the video while it was doing the, hey, listen to Loving the Strange. And so then I was laughing at that. And yeah, I was just having a lot of issues with the fact that I was messing everything up.
You're doing really good with the technology, but can I throw out one stat that I have I think is accurate?
No.
You're 0 for 18 on the going live at appropriate time.
I'm really bad at remembering to go live. I don't know.
Hey.
Should we just start over? We could
no,
start over.
because Dee's here, and it appears
she won't mind.
It appears as though she's the only one on right now. This would be not really a great opportunity, but I wanted to say thank you. I got your card today. That was awesome. Especially the references.
Dee is a magical human being and sent Sean a unicorn card.
The fact that she followed through with what she said she was going to do is awesome. That's rare. That's rare.
That's because Dee's a Hufflepuff. And Sean didn't know what that meant, Dee, but like I had to Sean's a Ravenclaw, believe it or not.
Me?
And I had to, yes, honey, that's who Sean is. And I had to, buddy, can you make it so your face isn't covered up by the banner?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh no, get rid of the banner.
There we go. That's better. So I couldn't.
Like this way.
All right. So the people who are just listening to the audio portion of this, I apologize profusely. Go to YouTube and you can see the crazy antics that Sean is up to. But anyway, Sean didn't know he was a Ravenclaw, and I had to explain what that was too right now. So Sean, a Ravenclaw is the people who like kind of gear towards smart stuff. I think like. I don't know. It's Harry Potter. It's all made up, but like that's what it is.
I thought Hufflepuff was a cereal.
I'm a Hufflepuff, baby. I'm a Hufflepuff. I feel like a Hufflepuff. It honestly sounds like something that you're like a stoner thing, like, hey, let's huff a puff or something. Like it doesn't sound.
No, it sounds like an after stoner snack. Hey, let's get some Hufflepuffs.
And since we're talking about dates, we can talk about snacks and dates maybe at some point. That was my segue. Yeah, but first let's say, hey, Kara, who's a Slytherin or a Slytherin. I never know how to say it. And hey, Carden. And hey, Amanda. And Dee says our common room for the Hufflepuffs is by the kitchen in the book. So best place to have a common room to hang out.
That is a good place to have a common room. Heck
yeah, you're going to convert to Hufflepuff now, aren't you, Sean?
Especially a place where there's probably always food on the buffet because it's magical.
Yeah, right? It'd be perfect for you. It would be like whatever hot sauce you wanted all the time. You wouldn't have to like barter for meat like you do here. It would be
biscuits and sausage gravy.
You'd be all set. It'd be all the southern food of your heart.
You know who else? You know who else I think ate that?
What?
Hagrid. That's who I thought ate like biscuits and sausage gravy, like southern food. Hagrid.
Dude, I'm surprised you even know a character in that. Honestly.
Yeah, man. I do.
I'm proud of you.
There's some hairy kid in there. I don't know.
Life. Okay, so hi.
Howdy. What are we even talking about tonight?
Today we are talking about dating and the weird, strange things and adorable sometimes and creepy sometimes things that people do when they're dating and stuff. I heard you drink that, Sean. So
it's all right. It's legal in the world of live podcasts.
We listened to another podcast today, and they were saying that, not today, but the other day, and they were saying the F-bomb all the time, and they were eating and chewing and stuff. So I was like, oh, we're not that bad. So I feel a little better about things. My Hufflepuff self who worries about the listeners.
Can we say the F-bomb now?
No. We're still on Facebook. All right, so ready? Want to hear an adorable story? And thank you all for listening, by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we're going to stop digressing now, and we're going to do a thing. So Autumn Ginn thought she missed the podcast and probably isn't here, but because she probably really is missing it, but she had a Facebook story that I'm going to share, and it's hysterical because it's relatable to me, Sean K. And it's my hubby and I connected online, and our first date was in a nature park. I took us on a shortcut off the trail to visit some horses that live on the back side of the park. And we ended up lost in the woods for 3 hours. Does that sound familiar to you, Sean?
Yeah. So they were probably on a much bigger tract of land.
But Sean and I also got lost on a date in a
park,
nature,
like on a boardwalk, like a nature boardwalk.
On a boardwalk.
With very poor signage.
And we kept, anyone local know where this is? It's Birdseeker. And it's a beautiful little park and bird sanctuary in the woods, and it has boardwalks and a bunch of trails that tell you to go one way, and we could not follow those signs. I'm surprised we're not on that missing 411 show where they're like a couple, a newspaper editor or reporter or author or whatever, and a police officer were lost. Sean's not anymore, but we're lost and never found again after going on a little nature preserve walk in the small town of Ellsworth, Maine.
They would have had to blame it on Sasquatch.
They would have totally blamed it on Sasquatch. It was bad. I still can't believe. But Autumn, that's not. So in some ways, getting lost together is a metaphor for life, right? You don't know where you're going. You're just on the trail. You think you're following the right signs. You may not be following the right signs. You might be going in circles, but you get closer during that journey. No? I thought that was pretty good.
That is good.
Be a supportive husband.
Oh, that was awesome. Hold on, I gotta wipe my tears, baby. Oh
my God.
Sorry, I was distracted by your story. I was thinking. I was just hoping. Is it Amanda? Yeah,
Amanda Courtney.
No, Gin or Gin, whatever it is.
Oh no, Autumn.
Autumn. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry.
There's Amanda.
I was hoping that when they got lost, neither Autumn nor her, was it just boyfriend at the time?
Yes, but now husband. See, they got married because they got lost together.
Well, I was just hoping they didn't have the anxiety of having any time constraints while they were lost.
Whatever. It only made it more exciting. You know that whenever you can have that ticking bomb or the time constraints in your novel, it makes for a more tense and thrilling novel that raises the stakes. Writing tip right there. No. Movies too. That's why there's always a time thing. Like, the bus, if we don't get the bus, it's going to go off the road or explode. Like all that stuff.
Life does that to my personality like 5 times a day.
That's so true, honestly. That's so true. So do you want to tell a story, maybe?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
So this one's a little bit long. But it says, I went on a date with this girl from Tinder. She, quote, super liked me and messaged first, so I was really happy to have someone interested. I asked if she'd like to go for a walk sometime, and she said she'd love to. So we get to walking, and like 5 minutes in, she asks if I have roommates. I said yes. I live with 5 people, and tell her about a few of them. There's Max, Matt, Mark. And she says, wait, Mark Smith? I know him. What's he been up to? I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. So they talk about Mark for the whole date. Like every time he tries to change the subject, she brings it back around to him. And then when they get back to their cars, like the date's over, she's like, hey, I had a really good time. Do you want to go back to your place and have some fun? And he thought she was acting kind of creepy. So he said, no, thanks. I got some homework to do. and maybe later. So he gets back home, tells his buddy Mark about the date, and he immediately calls the police. And the police come over and find her in the backyard, and she gets arrested for like violating a protection order. So it turned out she was super unstable and has stalked my roommate since they went on one date almost a year prior. She recognized me from photos she had of him and used me to find out where he lived. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you were very quiet.
Well, you were talking. I was being polite.
I didn't see your message.
So the person you hear in the background is our very excitable child talking on the phone to an internet friend.
Should I tell her to go be quiet?
I don't know how you can do that.
I'll have to leave my desk for a minute.
All right, leave your desk for a minute.
I'm not going to yell from down here. People will think we're heathens.
Well, we are heathens, honey.
I know.
We're
but
horrible people.
She's up on the 5th floor, so
just run. Run, do a Stairmaster. Okay, I'm going to tell you an exciting story without Sean, which is very lonely, honestly. So a whale, a guy in Massachusetts, I think, in Province. Yeah, Cape Cod. He got swallowed by a humpback whale while he was lobster diving, and the whale held him in its mouth for about 30 to 40 seconds before it realized that the guy was just not tasty. I guess it did not want to eat, decided a 56-year-old fishermen were not part of its normal habit. And the sea captain, Mr. Michael Packard, was spat out again. He was spat out. So this humpback whale, this guy's lobstering, but lobster diving, I guess, not lobstering off his boat. And this humpback whale just like comes and it swallows him. And like the worst date in the whole entire world just ejects him out of its mouth. I don't know, like, what happened with that. And then he was just completely bruised up, and he called rescue, and they came and they brought him to the hospital. They thought his leg was broken. His leg was not broken because this is the like toughest 56-year-old fisherman ever, and he's fine. And he stopped giving interviews to the press, but he did post about it on Facebook because he's like, I don't really like all the attention. But man, when something biblical happens to you and you get swallowed by a whale and then spat out again, you're going to get a little bit of attention. But I kind of wonder if it was just a really bad date. Like maybe he and the whale had been like flirting for a while. And then the whale is like, yeah, no, you're not my style. The best part of this is watching Sean's face as he tries to figure out what I was just talking about.
Did you just tell the story of Jonah as a
kind of date? Yes, yeah, because this guy, apologies to everybody, like this guy just like got swallowed by a humpback whale in Cape Cod today, I think, and spat out. It feels like it. A date with a humpback whale. She swallowed him whole and then spat him out again, or he swallowed him whole. I don't know what the gender was.
Back out, maybe.
I don't know what the gender was of the whale, and I don't think it matters. But like, yeah, and it's all over the news and all over Twitter, which is even more important than the news. Yeah, because it's like swallow, and he's fine. He's fine.
Anybody catch it on film?
No.
Did anybody see it?
I don't know. I think maybe other people on a boat or like close by saw it. It's like no one's doubting this story. Like this story is like it's legit. The rescue people came and everything. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. And Amanda sent a story, so I'm gonna have to go try to find it. So can you tell a story now?
Yeah, I can tell a story.
Is the child traumatized because you said, "Can you be quiet"?
No, she said she gave me a very enthusiastic "I'll try."
Yay!
I know.
Tell us a dating story, Sean. Is it gross? Is it adorable? What kind is it?
Well, I have one that's real short. That's not any of those really, but it says showed up at a fancy restaurant to meet a guy. And the first thing he does is hand me a condom with a picture of his face on it.
Wait, what?
That's the whole story.
No.
Showed up at a fancy restaurant for a first date with a guy, and the first thing he did was hand her a condom.
No.
I'm honestly, except for the guy, I'm assuming the other gender. I don't know what it was, but a condom with his face on it.
Wow.
Like custom-made condom wrappers.
I wonder
Maybe
how much that
it's like Big John or something. I don't know.
Fiona said, I thought that was a story about Sean.
How does she even know me that well?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to tell the story from Amanda. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
And thank you for sending this in. So I was set up by a coworker with his wife's cousin. I worked in a deli at the grocery store. So our first meeting, I was in a hairnet, an apron, and no makeup. And I barely remembered what he looked like, but we must have hit it off because the next day my coworker said the guy wanted to swap phone numbers. Amanda, that's really working it with the wow. All right. So I wasn't from this area. So I was nervous when he invited me to a town I never heard of for April Fools for a bonfire. I took a chance and found my way there. When I arrived, it was only me and him at a friend's farm, and no one had arrived yet. That's so creepy. I was nervous. Once others arrived, we went mudding in his truck and danced under the stars in the light of the fire. His friend's truck got stuck in the mud, so my date went to help him pull him out, and his truck got stuck. And they ended up dragging it out with a tractor, but the truck wasn't in neutral, so the tie rod end snapped, and my date was upset, so someone handed him a bottle of homemade wine, and he got drunk, but we still had a good time. And at the end of the date, he walked me to my car and said he was going to go sleep on top of a silo. I'm sorry, but this is the most amazing story ever.
I thought it was a Florida story till she said silo.
It sounds so Florida, baby. At the end, all right, so he said he was going to go sleep on top of a silo. I was nervous he was going to roll off and fall to his death. I am too. So that was awkward, but memorable for a first date. And we've been together for a total of 10 years. 8.5 of those we have been married, still going strong. That's an amazing first date. It could have turned out so creepy. Someone could have died off the silo. Like, there's a million things that could have gone wrong, but it was beautiful. That's adorable first date.
It ended well.
Do you still go mudding? Yeah, Sean just wants to know about the mudding. I have never gone mudding, sadly, because I've never even gone on a snowmobile or a motorcycle. So dumb, boring. It's Michigan. It's been only in Michigan, Amanda says. Fiona's like, he didn't fall off the silo, win. But wow, that's such a good story.
That is a good story.
I want a date story like that.
You what?
I want a date story like that. That's cool.
Oh.
It starts off creepy, you get worried.
I bet we could dig up a couple of weird ones, but might not be
that it wouldn't be appropriate. Okay, so do you want to tell a story, Sean? Or do you want to give dating tips or something?
No, I don't want to give dating tips. Are you kidding me? Sheesh. Here's one.
All right.
Met a girl at the restaurant for her first date, and she refused to leave because it was raining. I offered her my umbrella, but she still said no. I asked her what was going on. She confessed it's because she was a mermaid, and then if she touched water, her tail would come out.
Wait, what?
She confessed. No, she confessed it's because she was a mermaid, and then if she touched water, her tail would come out. I said I had to go to the bathroom. And ditched her.
What if she really was a mermaid?
I know, the fool. He should have got a glass of water and thrown it on her.
I know. I totally would have done something. I'd have done like a flick.
Yeah. You got to find that out.
I would have felt so guilty if she really did turn into a mermaid.
Why?
Well, because that would be like
then you have to
bullying.
get her out of the. Then you have to get her out of the restaurant.
Fiona's like, I don't think that's how the Mer thing works. And Dee's like, that's totally a splash moment. And the sea witch has to take your voice. They're all correct. Everyone is correct. That is just wow.
After you leave the restaurant, you got to go buy a big ass aquarium for your house.
No, you just get them to the ocean.
No, how are you gonna make any money off of me? Said I'm free.
Do you hear your child upstairs? Your child is making a lot of noise because even a 12-year-old knows better than to agree with you.
She's wearing headphones too. Anyways, that was my story.
Right. I have an anonymous one from one of our listeners. Ready?
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so I rode with a friend to her mom's for the weekend, so I didn't have a car, and they left to go somewhere on that Saturday. I had a friend, he was a guy, come pick me up, right? To get steak and shake. I feel like that's a regional thing that I don't know a lot about, right?
They exist in Florida. I know that.
Okay, while we were eating, my female friend came to get me to take me to her place, and she comes in and she goes, "Is this a date?" Well, I was saying, no. He was saying, yes. And that was, needless to say, it was very awkward after that. That's hard. That's happened to one of our relatives before. And that is hard.
She truly didn't think it was a date?
No.
Like, not from the get-go?
I never think I'm on a date. Like, you have to, like, expressly tell me, well, you know, before I was in a committed monogamous relationship, you would have to tell me that I was on a date. I never knew when people were flirting or hitting on me or anything.
Yeah, you had to make it pretty obvious.
Yeah, I'm really, really, like, whoo, right over my head. It's just the way I'm built. What?
I didn't seem to have any trouble with that.
Well, no, because you're super obvious. You're like, we're going on a date. I like you that way. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It worked out for the best. I just had to explain everything to you.
All the time. I'm going to kiss you now. That is what you do on a date. Okay,
now we're gonna park in the dark in my truck and make out. Okay.
Okay.
You're like Chad on Saturday Night Live.
All right. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, we're really entertaining ourselves here, but
I know nobody else could care less. All right, so I have more stories unless you want to go. I think yours are a little naughtier, honestly, which is no surprise.
Okay, now let me go again. So a new guy at work was kind of cool. So I invited him to a house party with my close friends because we all like to drink and play games. A lot of times we'll play strip poker or something. So this particular night we started off with strip poker. A dude literally takes his pants off first and underwear second.
Wait, what?
Girl, they were playing strip poker. So normally you go with like shirt, your socks, you know, you work your way to the revealing stuff. So
he did pants and then undies?
Pants, then underwear. And the third time he lost, his penis was hanging out and his shirt was still on.
Which is never an attractive look, honestly.
And then he goes on to say, because he's brilliant and trying to make friends, said it was the only way he played because he's no female part, but wimp, you know, it would be the analogy. That guy's an ass. So then her friends were confused.
I don't know. Yeah.
She said she was mortified that she brought this weird ass to a party. And they weren't even drunk yet because it was only the second game. Anyway, we've been together for 5 years and got married in July.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah. She must have secretly been impressed by that valiant young man.
Well, I guess, you know, he's not going to be boring, right? Like,
probably not. Probably never know what you're going to get.
Wow, though.
Except for class. You may not.
You're not going to get any class. Oh, man. Okay. That's horrifying. Like,
What?
it's just so horrifying. Okay, I call this one the glitching matrix. I made up a name for it. Are you ready? I got it off of Reddit, and it's the Reddit user I have the mustache now. It was my second date with this guy, and he said the exact same things that he said on the first date. So word for word. The same stories, the same quote unquote random thoughts, the same questions. It freaked me out so much that at first I played along and answered in the exact same way, as though we were both following some weird script. Eventually, I tried to break the mold and ask him new things, but he would just bring it back to the same topics as first time. It was like I was in a computer program and there was a glitch. Still freaks me out to think of it. There was no, these people did not get married.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
It's real good. Imagine how boring that would be every day.
Like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, or like living with me. Hi, Doug Marshall. It's good to see you here. Yay.
Very nice to see you.
Shauna, you ready? You ready for another one, man?
I gotta do another one?
You don't have to. I have more. I don't want to pressure you.
I got more too. So, is Hinge a dating app?
I have no idea. I'm old and uncool. Yeah.
So it says third date with a guy from Hinge. Started off completely normal. Went to a pub for a few drinks. Pub closes. Guy invites me back to his place. We get back to his place and have a few more drinks. He then asks if I'd like to smoke a joint. Hadn't smoked for a few years, but thought, yeah, it'll be fine. Ended up feeling very sick and unable to move. Guy doesn't have a bucket or a bowl, so he brings over the entire kitchen trash can and places it next to me. He then suggests we watch a movie. Guy puts on American Psycho, and I sit there for the next 2 hours, paralyzed and paranoid, completely convinced he's going to murder me.
That would be me.
Did I mention he lives on a boat?
So they were on a boat watching American Psycho, and she was, or he was too stoned to like
to paralyzation.
Oh my god!
We've been married for 10 years now. I'm just
really?
Kidding.
I thought you were lying. You had your laugh face on for our. Oh man!
But you got to describe that for the listeners that aren't able to watch. What's my lie face?
He stays still. Like when Sean lies, he goes like there's an abrupt, awkward movement of his head, and then his eyes get a little bit wider because he's trying really hard not to blink. Yeah, and everything kind of becomes motionless, and he is never motionless. So, yeah.
The good part is I can fix that now.
You won't remember.
Yeah, I will. Eyes stay slit like head never stops moving.
No, don't do that. Okay, so here's another anonymous. Okay, baby. All right,
what?
Ready? Here's another anonymous one. I left an event early to meet up with this guy. He had an hour to travel to my 2 hours. And when I got to the place we were supposed to meet, I waited for like 15 minutes before I found out that he left. He told me he liked for people to be on time. I have rage over this. For the record, he never told me he was mad or that he was about to leave. He just left. Side note, I ended up getting lost along the way, so it took more than 2 hours to get there. And I'm going to say that was an act of God or the universe to like make you anonymous one late when you're hardly ever late, I bet, because you didn't want to end up with that jerk. That's a jerk thing to do. It's like so jerky.
Yeah, could you imagine living with a guy like that for the rest of your life?
I know. Like you so lucked out.
You got to be on time.
I know. Can you imagine?
I gave that up long ago.
Were you ever like that?
No.
Oh, all right.
That was a joke at your expense, but you missed it. So.
Well, Are you saying I'm always late? I'm never late.
It's like I gave up trying a long time ago. Oh no, you're exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
You'll agree on a good time to leave, and then when the moment comes, you want to back it up by 15 minutes out of anxiety.
Oh, I get anxious. Okay, but that made me think, that anonymous person's thing made me think of an article from PS I Love You, which is basically like how not to be a dick on a date. And one of the things is like to show up. Like you want to show up. And I think another thing is like you don't want to leave. You don't want to make like the other person show up and then not be there, you know?
Yeah.
After 15 minutes. And then other ones are like pay, like arguments over who pays, or making like that awkward. That's not cool. That's a dick move. And then you want to have some swagger, but not too much swagger. And then the final thing, no, I'm sorry, there's two more. You don't want to go somewhere creepy, like a farm where nobody else is, where you're gonna sleep on a silo. So sorry, but like on that first date, because that's creepy and it scares the other person. And then you also don't want to put your headphones on only one ear. And then you also don't want to send a good morning text if you haven't actually slept together yet. And I've got to tell you, Shawnee, I think you did that to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You're not supposed to be like, good morning, and just send that as a text, like from 7 to 9 a.m. Because it's like you're in their personal space. Like they don't want to see that, allegedly.
Text doesn't have their inflection.
Good
morning. Been like, good morning.
It could have been like, good morning. And you're like, too much noise.
That's the problem with text.
Like, it's too much stimuli in the morning if you are not that close yet, according to PS I Love You. All right, here's another love story that didn't happen. All right, so it's not a date, but it's kind of strange, and I had to share. And if it doesn't fit, it's okay. Nice human being. My friend at the time called me up one night. I answered and said hello. He proceeded to play Khalid, I don't know that song, by Howie Day, and sang the entire song to me. When it ended, he just acted like nothing had happened. To this day, I have no idea what it was about, but it's the only time I've ever been serenaded. I need to go look up the song by Howie Day.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Do you know the song?
No, I don't. What's the name of it?
It's Collid.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look it up. And then you're gonna have to sing it to me. Because
I think he didn't say anything after, because he didn't get the appropriate reaction from the anonymous writer. And he probably just felt stupid.
Oh, it's the song that says I'm tangled up in you.
Can you sing it? Because I don't know.
No, I'm not singing it. But the lyrics are, the dawn is breaking, a light shining through. You're barely waking, and I'm tangled up in you. Yeah. I'm open, you're closed. Where I follow, you'll go. I worry, I won't see your face light up again. Even the best fall down sometimes. Even the wrong words seem to rhyme. I can't believe I didn't know the title of this song. It's because it's Collide. And I'm so fine.
Was that a spelling error or a reading error?
It was a spelling error. No wonder. And you and I collide. I'm not going to read the rest of the lyrics, but yeah, anonymous person. I think they're trying to tell you something, probably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It was like when Chris Paquette, when we were freshmen, had his little sister who was like in 6th grade, I think, play Madonna's Crazy for You on the telephone and said, my brother wants you to hear this song. And I'm like, oh, he must like me? Does he like me? The anonymous person, maybe not. And then his little sister was like, because he likes you. And I was like, oh. And then I heard him say, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then it was kind of funny. And then we dated for a week.
You dated for a week? It worked.
I always date people out of sympathy. You know that.
I think.
So
I know. I was gonna say you date anybody that somebody can serenade you with Billy Idol's White Wedding, and you go out on a date with them.
I'd be like, oh, secondhand embarrassment, that poor thing. Okay, fine, I'll date you. Yeah. I've gone out with people and even married them because they cried. So like, it's
hey.
not Sean, not Sean.
Thank you.
But yeah, like secondhand embarrassment, I feel for them. Oh my gosh, there's a huge comment from John Bell that we didn't see.
Where'd that go?
I don't know. So
I never saw that.
I didn't either. So, says John Bell, I took my wife on dates every weekend for 6 months and didn't get a kiss. She had to go to Colombia for a funeral for 2 weeks. During that 2 weeks, I put my house for sale, sold it, and moved out before she returned. The next weekend after she returned, I took her on a date and I hit a home run. And the rest is history. I want to hear what the date was.
I want to know what about the house. Like, does she think you were just hauling ass forever and she was going to lose you or what?
Or was she like, oh, last chance? Yeah, there's a lot going on in that story.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, Doug Marshall had mostly platonic dates in high school, which was allegedly no fun. I'm sorry, Doug. I think Sean was like that too. And
I think I sent not a lot, a couple. The couple I dated, they all probably went home and called their best friends and like, that was the lamest date I ever been on. God must I don't know, be afraid of women.
Aw, you were just so nice and polite back then, baby. It's okay. Back then.
Yeah.
Back then. Cheryl Daly said, I had a guy sing You've Lost That Loving Feeling Before. You lost that loving feeling. That would be embarrassing. Once when I was running for political office, I lost. One of my campaign people, I don't think they were hitting on me, but they just like to sing. And they kept singing old standards like Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby, and they wouldn't let, and we're driving all over like Otis, Maine, and like these back roads of Maine, right? I'm just trapped with this guy, and he's super nice, right? But he just won't stop singing old tunes. And like,
you know, he had a crush on you.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, and like, he wouldn't let me turn the radio on, and we couldn't have a conversation because he just wanted to sing these old like serenade songs.
He wouldn't even sing a show tune with you?
He didn't know. He wasn't a show tune guy. He was all like Perry Como and, you know, like that stuff.
Even I've sung a couple show tunes.
You have?
With you. You know I have.
Oh, Hamilton. You sang a couple Hamilton.
Yeah.
All right. John Bell's not going to talk to you anymore. All right. Another one, Shani.
That's a masculine play, man.
There's no gender for plays. So,
well, then don't talk about my male friends.
So, do you have another story?
I have a really short one, but I also had another longer one, I think.
The short ones are usually awesome.
In college, I went on a date with a dude who got all excited that we were on the same psychiatric medication. Like, I'm pretty sure he thought that made us soulmates or something. It was different.
Aww.
That's all it says. They could be married now.
That's not a good enough story.
I told you it was short.
Yeah, but there's no sexy in that one.
I don't do sexy. Here, wait. I got one that's sexy. It's actually got the word sexy.
Sexier than the condom picture of yourself condom guy?
Yeah, that's...
Because I don't know if there's anything sexier than putting a mug of your face on your thingy.
A mug of your face on a condom.
Yeah.
Or a picture of your face on a picture of the picture of your face on a condom on a mug. Anyways. I was interested in this girl, and she kind of tricked me into a double date where she was dating another guy and fixed me up with her sister. Aww. Being a good sport, I went along with it, and it was awkward, but okay-ish. But then she set me up with her sister again, and this time it was just the two of us. We went to the park. She had filled the trunk of her car with troll dolls. I mean, dozens and dozens of them, and spent the and spent the entire date introducing me to her trolls one by one. I should mention we were in our 20s. She was getting frustrated and angry because I didn't seem all that interested in her dolls. So sitting there, hands full of troll dolls, she exasperatedly asked me, "So are we going to have sex? Do you even know how to have sex?" And I said, "Not with you, I don't." And got up and walked home. Yeah. I wouldn't have turned her down because that crazy is crazy.
Really?
Might be hard to get away from. It might be hard to get away from in the end, but
you have learned nothing in your life.
A trunk full of troll dolls, you could do it right there in the trunk.
That would hurt. Those troll dolls have those hard little plastic noses that poke in
they
places,
all do?
And I thought so.
They don't.
And those little handy things, like they're and they're hard plastic, aren't they?
Oh, I don't know. I was imagining what do you call them? Like the kid likes the little dolls. There's a word for them.
Playmobil?
No,
the ones Barbie.
The ones that we bought for recently, like the anime figures,
Funkos,
plushies.
Oh, plushies.
So I was thinking of like plushie style troll dolls.
No, I thought there was always
long, bristly hair.
Yeah. Oh, maybe there are just plushie trolls. This is a tangent. We should probably get off.
Yeah, we got some new comments here.
I know. Kara Sawyer said, the first song I ever sang to my husband on our first date was Bring on the Men from Jekyll and Hyde. And I had the soundtrack in my car and I didn't even realize it. So Kara was apparently singing along without realizing it until I got to a very risque part and I looked over to him and he was grinning like a fool.
That's awesome.
Adorable. That's adorable. And Coop said something really wise, which is, it's so wild how we have to quote unquote try on people to find someone who gels with us. What a strange concept dating is.
It is.
You're right. It's so true. And I'm so conflict averse. Once I date you, I'm basically just going to marry you because I don't know what else to do. So bad.
It's not far off the mark either.
I know my flaws. So John is explaining more about his date, and he said the date after she returned was I rented a limo. Oh wow, big spender. That holds 28 people for just us two. Tell us the rest, John. You read the rest, man.
I took it to the glades to feed the alligators at the end of Locks Road, and then up and down the beach. And then on to the Jungle Queen, which, for you that don't know, the Jungle Queen looked like a paddle wheel dual double-decker, and it takes tourists on tours down the Intercoastal Waterway.
Oh, cool.
But it goes way inland on the river. Remember the river we were on when we went there?
No.
The one where I said my grandmother was born.
Oh, I remember that river.
And her neighbors were okay. So it goes way inland. It's really cool. Anyways, so apparently they went on the Jungle Queen. Then they went to Beach Place, which is a ginormous complex of nightlife and dining and stuff on the beach in Fort Lauderdale, where there was a cool bar with dueling pianos. I've actually been to that bar with John. And then an overnight stay at the Bonsoir Hotel.
Did you and John have an overnight stay at the Bonsoir Hotel too?
No.
Did he get you a limo, Sean? Because I think you deserved a limo.
No. I don't. Wow. We've never been in a limo together.
That's so nice. That's such a nice
I've never
date,
been in a limo,
John Bell.
period, honestly.
Really?
I gotta rent myself a limo trip.
I've been in limos.
Oh, I'm sure you have, fancy pants.
So sorry. But I've never been mudding. I've never been mudding. I know what I'd rather go mudding, I think. Although it seems dirty.
It can be quite dirty.
Mudding.
Dirty. Mud in every orifice and crevice.
Yeah, all right. I won't do mudding. So
yeah, you will.
I'm ancient and we've been together forever and we still haven't gone mudding. So therefore, I think it's not likely to happen.
Because I'm too old and mature to abuse my vehicle like that.
Oh, in my head, I thought it was like an ATV.
You could do that too.
Oh, all right, everyone. That's a helicopter going over. If you hear that, apologies.
It's life flight.
Yeah.
Another person fell off a mountain.
Well, don't joke. It's probably true. So Dee said, I've been in a limo quite a few times. First time was in 6th grade to our Valentine's dance at my middle school. You're just showing off now, Dee.
Dang, you're not kidding.
Yeah. Man. Maybe limos are more of a southern thing than a Maine thing. Although you've never been in
there's
one.
a lot more limousines down south, but there's a lot more people. There's not as great a need for limos up here.
Yeah.
I've never been in one.
There was a guy who used to take people in the limo to go see the house where Dick Wolf lives on our island. The guy who made, is that Law and Order?
Yeah.
Okay, all that, like all those franchises. And then Martha Stewart. And I guess he got in trouble with the police because he was trespassing by Martha Stewart's house. She didn't like
down the driveway.
I don't know. But I think it's really funny.
He probably pulled in the driveway and told all his customers, now you can say you've been to Martha Stewart's house.
Yeah, probably.
Look at that right there.
John Bell says as soon as I get to go to Florida and visit, then we get to knock all the things off my bucket list, except probably snowmobiling. But I'm so excited.
He was talking to you. I thought he was talking to me.
Maybe he is.
Limo and feed the
maybe he is talking to you. He is your friend. I'm such a narcissist.
He was talking about you because those are the easy things to do.
Well, I don't know.
Go.
So Dee's parents everybody's parents surprised them, and that's why they got to get in the limo. But it's hysterical because the limo dropped us off, but they didn't pick them back up. So now I have this image of all these little 6th graders being like, where's the limo? After the
dance. Yeah, they're inside the dance telling everybody about the limo.
And then it's gone.
They take them outside to show them, and it's nowhere to be seen.
I probably didn't explain exactly how it happened, but I really enjoy thinking of that. So. All right, this one's weird. Oh gosh. He said the entire dance crew came out to see it and it wasn't there. That's a perfect middle grade story.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. You poor babies.
The vanishing limo.
So sorry. I can't stop laughing.
At least they made up for it the next year.
All right, these are just my other ones are just kind of horrible humans. Do you want me to read a horrible human one?
Hey, didn't you have a personal one?
No.
Oh, wait, something about a protection order or something.
Oh man, I did, but I don't know where that one was. Oh, maybe it was. All right.
I meant personal to you.
Yeah, I'm not. I will talk about that if I. All right, this one's creepy, and I could possibly segue into mine. All right, so I had just moved. This is from Reddit user Claire in the Snow, and we'll have all these links on CarrieJonesBooks.blog. So I had just moved to London and met this man on a dating website. He was generally not my type. Still, I was fresh out of a long-term damaging relationship and trying to meet new people, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward to the date, and he takes a call from a girl, and he says to her, "Oh, I'm just in the pub with male roommate's name." I can hear her on the other end getting worked up about something and him telling her to calm down. Alarm bells start ringing. He hangs up the phone and says, "That was my fiance, but not a real one. I'm just with her, just one I'm with for her visa." And she's like, at this point, I'm already thinking, bloody hell, because they're British, I guess. He continued on with his excuse. She also lives with me in my 2-bedroom apartment with my other roommate, which is cozy. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I should probably tell you I'm getting married in 3 weeks."
To her?
Yeah. And so at that exact point, but this gets better. So at that exact point, I said, "Well, I'm just going home. And she started to pull on her coat. But then his reply was even more classic because he said, do you want to help me buy my groceries first? User men. You know?
What?
Not you,
Come on.
baby. Not you. So here's one more. Ready? Ready,
Yeah.
Sean? All right.
Yeah.
So this is from Reddit user L7. We'd been talking on the phone for about a month. He tells me his car is booted outside of his house. Is that when they put the thing on your tire? Okay. He had a long, drawn-out story about how he could not get the boot removed. His dad was staying with him, and he thought he'd be able to use his dad's car, but now he can't. So I go to get him to go somewhere to eat, and he starts panicking and saying, oh, great, now I'm in the car with you, and I'm going to get accused of rape or something. And I asked him what the hell he was talking about. And he was just kept rocking in his seat anxiously, worried that he would be accused of rape. And I drove him to the nearest area with food and asked him where he wanted to go. And he said he had no money and wanted to go home. So I took him home. And then he asked me if he could borrow $20. What is up with these guys? I don't know why. But I gave it to him. This is not me, but I probably would have too, just to give it.
Yeah, you would have.
And I would have felt bad. So I don't know why, but I gave it to him. And after this, he called me repeatedly. And I ignored his calls because this person is conflict averse like I am, I bet. And he texted me asking me why he was, quote, not good enough to date. I kept ignoring him. Fast forward 3 years, right? It's 3 years later. He's on a dating site I'm on. He messages me, but does not remember who I am. He tells me that a year ago, his longtime girlfriend passed away, the one he had lived with for 10 years. So he was not staying with his dad, and he was freaking out because he lived with a girlfriend when he met me right outside of his house. And so I called him out for it, and he tried to pretend I had the wrong guy, but he had the same name and worked at the same place and looked like the same guy. Very bizarre.
Well, he was the same guy.
I know. Man. And he asked for money. I don't understand. Do people just go on dates to ask for money?
I think if you're going to like weave a big story of deceit and lies, you might as well try to get some money out of the deal too. Why not? It's like just a little extra tag on.
Oh my gosh. All right, here's my bad date. Ready? My restraining. All right, so I was and I've written this into a story, but I don't know if this story will ever get published. But if it does and you read it, you'll be like, oh, that's true. So I was really into politics when I was in high school, grade school, and college. And I know I don't seem like I would be, but I really was. And I went to a college in Maine, and I went home for New Hampshire for the primary because New Hampshire has like a really big primary, like first in the nation. And so it's a big deal thing. And I was the president of one of our college's clubs for a political party. And so we all went down there, right? And I had this Great Pyrenees dog, whose name was RJ. And we were outside on Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. And this guy on the other side of the street was like, your dog's so beautiful. And I was like, thanks. And he actually knew what kind of dog it was. And I was like, oh, he knows. And he was this big, tall, skinny guy, really rangy, from Alabama or Arkansas or something. And he had political posters that are the exact opposite of, at the time, especially of my political leanings, right? Like it'd be like a Biden supporter and a Trump supporter, you know, like it's just was like, or I don't know, someone way more liberal than Biden and a Trump and somebody like even more, you know, like it was like as extreme as you could possibly go, right? And so he's like, do you want my, I'm like, what are your posters? And he's like, do you want to see them? You know, he's like, you're not going to agree with them. I'm like, I don't care. I want to see them. I'm like, good for you for making money. He's like, thanks. And so then he asked me on a date, and everyone around me was like, do not go on this date. And I was like, oh, he's just lonely, and he's from Alabama, Arkansas, or some southern state that starts with an A, and he's in New Hampshire. This poor man doesn't even have a hat. And so I was like, okay, I'll go on a date with you. And so I'm not completely ignorant. So I brought my dog, which was a very protective dog, right? And we're on this date in like a Chevy Blazer or Ford Bronco or some kind of car like that. And we go because he's getting gas. And my dog, I swear to you, starts going, woo, 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 and pawing at something. I'm like, don't eat it, don't eat it. And it's a piece of paper that was underneath the passenger seat. And it was a restraining order against this guy for assault on a woman. And so then I'm like, I feel so sick. I feel really sick, which wasn't really a lie because I did feel sick because I was scared. And the whole way back, he's like, you have such blue eyes. Blue eyes. Our children would have such blue eyes. You don't have much hips, though. So I'm not sure how good a breeder you'd be. But you've got blue eyes. And I was like, I'm so glad I'm going back to college soon because he knows where I live. And yeah, there you go. And then he bothered me for about 3 months after that, including driving to my college and trying to find me.
He stalked you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like security had a lookout for him and everything. It was so bad.
What's super crazy?
So that was a bad date for me. Yeah.
You know what's super crazy about that story?
That I'm not a
Those are the same exact things I say to you.
That's not true. You're such People are gonna believe you.
You do have some blue eyes, baby.
No, that was the guy who sent me the Bartlett's famous quotations and had all that weird cryptic writing in the front. That was all symbols.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to figure that out. It probably says blue eyes.
It probably is like, good breeder or not? Lack of hips? Bad sign.
Well, I'm glad you got out of that one alive, baby.
It was super creepy.
Yeah.
And it's all because of my dog. You know, my dog was so on it.
Definitely.
Yeah, Doug Marshall, birthing hips. I did not have birthing hips, I guess. Yeah. But he said breeder.
Did, baby.
Apparently, I did birth. But yeah, he legitimately used the word breeder. And that is why I shouldn't be so nice to people.
That's a good breeder right there.
I had felt so badly for him.
Yeah? That's why when you tell me that person's giving me creepy vibes, I'm like, okay, I believe you. Because your person radar sucks most of the time. So when you say somebody's creeping you out, I'm totally with you, honey.
That's well, you've learned. Oh my gosh. Autumn Ginn made the best hashtag, which is always bring the dog.
Yeah.
I think that would be our dating advice. Always bring the dog.
Always bring the dog if you can.
Yeah, man. Like, do you have any dating advice before we go?
Advice?
Yeah, advice. ADVICE. Do you have any cool date ideas? Like, we want to be helpful.
Oh my God.
I mean, we do have, thanks to Autumn, always bring the dog. But other than that, do we have...
This is not what you prepped me for.
I wrote it in the blurb. I wrote, Sean might have dating advice. Did you not read the blurb?
You wrote a blurb?
Seriously? The post. You shared it. Yeah, on the post that you shared.
I share a lot of stuff, baby.
And you don't read it. Oh, wow.
No, wow. I do. I read all the dog advice ones.
A sure sign of love.
I promise you. Every morning I read the dog advice.
You do not.
I swear to God I do. I'm holding up hands if people can't see them.
For those of you who don't know.
Look, head's moving and my eyes are still squinting. I promise you I do. Every morning. I swear. I'm not even fooling.
That's a liar.
You know I'm not lying.
The other tell that Sean has when he lies is he says, I'm not lying. And his tongue goes up right in the center of his mouth.
Because he does this to me all the time. She gets me laughing. Help me, people.
I think Cheryl might have advice
Oh,
Here,
yeah.
while we wait to see, let me say that some cool ideas about dates from and the I don't know. Oh, what the heck? Where is the source? And the we saved. I don't know if that's appropriate. That doesn't sound right. Play in the snow, build a snowman. Can't do that in the summer in this hemisphere.
Or
Go to a community play.
south.
Do an inside or outside picnic. Work out together in a limo that John Bell rented. Go roller skating or ice skating. Movie marathon with ice cream sundaes. Try to make the most obnoxious ice cream sundae that you can. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that does sound fun.
Play hide
Especially
and
if you
seek.
do it naked.
What? Play hide
Hot
and
Fudge
seek.
Sunday. It's naked.
Naked hot fudge sundaes?
Oh yeah.
Or you're naked while you're making the
Yeah.
hot fudge sundae. Oh,
So,
Cheryl didn't have a thing. She just reads the dog advice thing.
I do too every morning.
We don't believe you. She's like, you guys would be great on a couples game show. No, we wouldn't, because we would lose. We would lose so hard.
Because Carrie would get every question right. I'd get every question wrong, and she'd be super pissed off.
I would do the Claire. It'd be like so bad. It would be so bad. I'd be like, you don't love me. You know nothing about me. And I'd be all drama.
She didn't say it had to be the dating show or whatever. It's the Newlywed Show. That's what it was. The Newlywed Show.
Match game. It's the match game, isn't it?
What's
that ancient show?
Either one of those. They're both ancient.
Yeah. All right. So have a spa night. Do you want a spa night, babe?
Dude, you won't let me get a massage from a robot.
No. Oh, yeah. I've got issues. Go to an estate sale together. What's an estate sale?
It's a yard sale, but it's all the
Fancier?
furniture. It's like if they took everything that was in Redwood and brought it out onto the lawn. That'd be an estate
All
sale.
right, Redwood, for those of you who don't know, is a mansion nearby. So yeah, that'd be a lot of stuff.
Well, or they could leave it inside and just price it out in there. It's like everything's for sale. We don't want it. Come get it.
One of the things
doesn't mean it's cheap. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. One of the things is play hide and seek in a cornfield or the woods, which sounds so creepy.
Yeah, we used to do that. You and I.
We did?
Well, at the campground. There was a kid involved.
Oh, there was a kid. It doesn't count when your children are there.
It does when you're the seeker and you're hiding together in the woods and kissing and stuff. Remember?
Oh my gosh. An escape room for a date. D. Harris, that's a great suggestion. I don't know if there's an escape room anywhere near here. Is there?
No, but we've been around plenty and you always have an interest in them.
I do. I totally go in there.
I'm kind of like,
yeah.
You know what I'm afraid of is when we get in a room with a bunch of strangers and they're offering up these dumbass ideas, and I'm like, people. Stupid.
Hun, ready?
What?
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reveal a whole lot of how awful we are to everybody else. That's what life is like always.
Yeah. What?
Or
Oh,
with
me?
me?
No.
No. We're always just like, hey, and we're in like a big, not like with our friends, but like when we're like anywhere, like let's say it's a Rotary convention or something, we're always wow.
Yeah,
exactly. Then we just go off as our own little twosome. We suck as humans.
Yeah, we do.
So I think an escape room with us and other people is like that we don't know. It's just gonna be hell. Like
I think so too.
We're just gonna be like making eyes at each other, and then we'll be mean and we'll hurt other people's feelings, and then we'd have to try to like not be emoting, and you have a hard time not emoting. Like your glare is a powerful, dangerous weapon that like if you like you could be in Star Wars with that glare and like just shrivel people up like Darth Vader.
No.
It's bad. Doug said no rules Twister. No, I am not playing no rules Twister with Sean. Although he can't bend, so
I was gonna say
right.
I might end up in the hospital.
Caitlin said a moonlight Moonlight rowboat ride. That sounds really nice, Caitlin.
Yeah,
That's why I
does
love
sound
Caitlin.
nice.
She's so smart and funny. Dee said that the escape room in Atlanta, you can do just like you two or a small group. The one time I went for my brother's birthday, we had a ball. See, I would love that. They got stuck in the second room. I would not love that, but I would love to just do it like with like here, Caitlin. If Caitlin was there because she's local, I'd be like, yay, because that would be so fun, you know? But if it's some random person, I don't know if I would have as good a time in the escape room.
Well, Dee said she'd go with us.
Oh, I would definitely go with Dee.
Hey, you know
I would go to Georgia just to go to an escape room with Dee, probably.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Do they put
on our way to go
chair
see John Bell in Florida. That's what we'll do.
Do they put a chair in each room so people like me can just sit down and watch
and
everybody else?
roll eyes at everyone and glare? That's totally what he would do. And then some nice person would come up and talk to him. And Caitlin can testify to this because we have a wonderful friend and we go over his house often. And Caitlin is there. And there's always like a big group of people. And like someone will be talking to Sean and Sean will just turn around and walk away.
Hey!
He so bad. And I don't know why he does it. And then I'll be like, and I'll run up to the person because I'll be like, no, this poor person, he just walked away.
I guess I have a low boredom threshold.
I don't know if it's that you're bored. Maybe you're just too much. It's like too much. Maybe you're secretly introverted. I
tell you that all the time. I'm introverted. And you say, no, I'm extroverted. But you're wrong.
Oh, there are chairs. There are chairs in the clown room at the escape room. So you'd be all set, Sean.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do it. Oh, see, John has a house in Georgia. We're all set. We've got like the whole trip planned out.
That's right.
Everyone, thank you so much for listening.
Holy smokes, it's late.
Yeah, I know. I'm rounding up. I'm like corralling it in.
You're ringing the dinner bell, baby.
Ding, ding, ding. Thank you very much. Extra shout outs go to Autumn and Claire and Jen and Pam and Joan and Nancy and Sam and Tony and Shay and Rachel for supporting me on Patreon and stuff. Thank you. It's a big deal to me. And it is a big deal that you all hang out and put up with us, honestly.
Keeps us in macaroni and cheese and hot dogs.
It does. I hate hot dogs.
Thank you so very much.
All right, thank you so much. And before we go, I have to say that Kara said she's horrible. She'd be the person in the control room watching the people in the escape room laughing and yelling at them like she was on Mystery Science Theater.
That'd be awesome.
See you guys later. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And thank you, Sean, for not walking away.
Have a great weekend. Walking away. When?
Like you do at a party. Like, ooh.
Oh.
I'm done.
Thanks, everybody. We love
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Loving the Strange. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, embrace the strange. New episodes every Saturday, live streaming Fridays. Go get your strange on, friends. Thanks for listening.